Greetings and welcome. Thank you for stopping by here on YouTube Live at The Real Bloom from Within Love. I go by Bloomy. Original live air date is, now it is officially Thursday, June the 2nd, 2022. If you are logging on live or on the live date, otherwise, just simply welcome. Thank you for joining. And yes, it's a blackout message. You do hear a little bit of music in the background. And in the title, by the way, thank you. Anything you all need to know about me should be listed in the description box. And as always, love and light and gratitude and thanks to every single viewer and subscriber, those who like and share and comment that are truly divinely guided in a high vibrational and love and light energy. So those of you who come to this channel in that energy, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you, that you are a part of my why. And know that if that is truly you, that I do send positive energy right back at y'all and wish that you receive every ounce of good that you put out there in the world, even if it's not directly from your direct circle around you. Okay? To those who come on the other energy, my words to you is may you receive that as well. If you're coming to my channel and platform in a toxic, malevolent, karmic, fear, ego based driven energy, I return it all back to you, and may you receive that until you learn a lesson about that. And so it is. Now, in the title, you see that more karmics are exposed. Okay. More of DM1's karmics are revealed and exposed. And I think you guys see something up to the effect of divine feminine. She knows. She knows who they are. And when I say no, I'm not saying that she's like their friend or anything like that. I'm just saying that she knows who this additional karmic energy is. Now, let me turn this down here because I'm going to talk about something personal. Because that's a part of my path, it's a part of my journey, it's a part of my alchemy, and it's a part of what serves the collectives that I came here for. So, my story is actually intertwined in what I share. Okay. So, what I mean by intertwined is that it comes from what I alchemize and what I heal and what I transcend and the whole process. So it's not separate from, it's all intertwined. So as I was listening after, I just got out of a very relaxing bath, clearing, cleansing, and doing all of my good old rituals and stuff. I was like, feeling good, doing my thing, my cleansing, my relaxing, very grateful energy and stuff like that. And as I was getting ready to get ready for bed, I was listening to one of my favorite readers, and it was one thing she said. And as I was just listening with my intentions, a memory came back to me. As I listened to her reading, a memory came back to me, and that's how it just confirmed what I already knew, but it was highlighting that, yes, this is indeed true, and you can talk about it, and it's going to help whoever it helps. Because, see, at the end of the day, everything is always choices. Knowledge without applied, actioned wisdom is nothing. It's just a bunch of information and factoids. So it's really for those who, if it's for them, and they grab it and um, they apply it as such, right? So another one of DM1's karmics is exposed. You guys have heard me say time after time that in my twin flame journey, it was realized that there were many karmics. Okay, not everybody is as congested with as many karmics up close and personal on their journeys. Every journey is a little different. But you guys did hear me talk about how on my particular twin flame journey that um, first and foremost, one of the main shockers was that my own family was the main theme. They were the main karmics behind trying to sabotage me. Okay, so they were the main players. They were playing in the background for a very long time. Okay, and now here's the twist about divine feminine finding out the identity of yet another karmic of DM1s. So in my journey, the unfortunate thing about this dynamic is that family members and exes knew about the twin flame journey long before we did. Okay, when I say we, I mean myself and DM1. Okay, I knew before DM1 did, but my family, meaning my sister and my mother, and then his exes and people he had messed around with and slept with, and you know, in his life, baby mamas, exes, you know, friends, and so forth, certain ones um, had come to know and found out because they were individuals that were secretly doing spell work on him. You guys heard me say some while back that um, one of the reasons why his life was stuck or got so fucked up long before he even ever met me was because he was dealing with individuals that, whether they were fully revealing this to him or not, or if they were revealing it in a way that, oh, I do it, but I don't do it on you kind of shit, you know. Um, they were doing spells on him, and this is why he could never, ever quite get free. This is why he had a tendency to not be able to let go of exes because they were doing spell work. Certain ones were doing spell work on him. Okay. Not all of them, but certain ones were certainly doing some type of spell work and magic on him, but they hid it. They hid it from family. They hid it, um, you know, because of their appearance, their professions in some cases. Some of them, by day, they profess to be some type of a religious person, okay? Others, you know, they just profess to be people who are not into that. You know, they have regular, you know, jobs and, you know, so forth. But to keep him stuck from going, being able to move on, they were into astrology, tarot, rituals, and spells. And they found out before he did, and they found out before I did. Okay. So once they found out, they heightened the spell work over the union. They heightened the spell work over him to keep him fucked up in the head, to keep him in a childlike energy, to keep him fucking them, to keep him confused, right? So they were doing rituals over him. They were doing sex magic, all sorts of things. And then they were sending magic on me once they realized who I was. Okay. They were doing chaos magic on the union to keep us in a constant state of fighting, to keep us in a constant state of misunderstanding. And don't get me wrong, you guys, this is not me making excuses for DM1 or feeling sorry for him. Trust me, I don't. Okay. I'm just telling the story about what's my guides have exposed yet more about the whole ordeal. Okay. So, um, in our case, in this journey, the individuals knew that we were on a twin flame journey before we did. So all these people started commencing to heighten their spell work that they denied doing. Okay. And I was like, wow, you know, as I was sitting this tonight, I was like, dang, you know, as I was in my cool mood, I'm like, yeah, that's a trip. And then my guides brought back to something to memory as I was sitting listening to a read. I was like, oh, here I go. Because I was just sitting there and it flashed right before me. I was like, there she is. I know who she is. That's another one. So they've been identifying different karmics of the DM1s, okay? Um, so before we broke up the second time around, okay, and y'all already heard the story, right? Well, the second time, the second time around, okay. I don't recommend this, by the way, what I'm about to tell you. I don't recommend doing this because I was still on a portion of my healing process. But it still proved my intuition anyway. So we were hanging out, and yeah, I think I may have told y'all about that. We were hanging out in my car at the time, and because we used to do that a lot, we used to chill out and watch movies and stuff, like if we were at a drive-in or some shit, right? And so we were watching movies on his phone. Oddly enough, I think it was through one of the accounts of one of his exes that he had a codependent relationship with, that he had claimed at that time, um, was all about, the children and shit like that, which hogwash, man. What hoe let, what I'm saying, some dude be using a shit? It's like, nah, even if they, let me get off that. Anyway, I'm sorry. I digress. I digress. Um, so this time though, right? Well, see, before the first time around when we were together, okay, that I wouldn't have done that. One time he had even left his phone when he was going to work or something like that in the lobby, and any other person would have been like, "Oh, you got his phone. It's right here." As soon as somebody, call, whoop. But I didn't do it. Like I picked it up. I was like, "Hey, you leaving your phone?" See, that's the first time around. The second time around, well, when we had got back together and we were sitting in the car, he went inside to fix the toilet or to get it presentable or something because I needed to use the restroom. And so he went in there to, deal with it or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But he left the phone because we were watching the movies on his phone. And this time I was bold. Again, I want to add a disclaimer. Don't do this because if we have to look into people's phones, that's one of the main indicators that, what chances are some ain't right about the connection. Because, if you sense foul play and you got to be doing that, just let the motherfucker go, man. And of course, I can say that in retrospect, but please, you know, take the precautionary tale because it's not really worth it at the end of the day. Okay, you look through the phone, you find out what you need to find out. Okay, then what? Okay, which confirming what you knew. Okay, good. Well, don't even bother. So this time I was bold. I was like, because he was inside a mighty long time, but he had left his phone. And I was like, all right. And I was watching the movie on his phone. So that means the phone was what? Unlocked. So I was like, because he had been, there was already issues that had started coming up again already, foul play, intuition, little weird shits, and blah blah blah. And so I was like, let me check something out. So I went in and I went into his messages, I went into social media. I sure did. And my guides tonight brought that memory back to me as I was listening to a reader as she was saying something about it was a twin flame reading, and she was talking about karmics and how these particular karmics in DM's life knew that he was on a twin flame journey and knew who his counterpart was before he did, and they were doing magic against it. And I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. So my guides brought me back as I listened to her reading to that memory of that night. This one particular girl or lady, or I don't even know. I'm going to say this one karmic. That's what I'm going to call her. Okay. again, because as I've told you guys before, in my case, in this story of my twin flame journey, we have many. And it was like, and some of these people knew who we were before we knew, before I knew. And so when you have that as a factor, they're already working against it. But they're not gonna stay finna tell you this shit, okay? That's not the name of the game. They ain't finna say it. So it was one, because as I went into his messages, it was one that was in the Facebook that I was looking at the date. I was tracing something. I remember when I saw it because I was trying to trace, from when we had reconnected and so forth and all of that. And I opened it and there was a dialogue between them. She was like, she sent something to him like, it was dumb. That's why I'm like, oh, see, this is making sense. She was like, I'm going to need you to talk me up, to so and so, or something to that effect, here soon or in August, or what was man, it was something like that. I'm gonna need you to do this soon, or some shit like that. Coming up here soon. I'm gonna need you to talk me up. And his response was like, oh yeah, sure, and, sure, absolutely, anything for you, right? Now, this is the funny part. So when I confronted DM1, when he eventually, because I looked at several things, this he probably don't remember, but this is why I can identify certain ones too, because I saw things. So when DM1 came back out, I confronted him. I was bold. See, this is the second time around. I had got bold. I was like, so what is this? I ain't even play. I ain't even try to pretend or nothing. Some badass shit, man. I didn't try to pretend. I was like, I did, I was like slow with it though, because I like to go in for the slow kill. I was like, so yeah, what is this? Boom, boom, boom. And he was like, what? What are you talking about? Or some shit. I was like, yeah, woo. And then I just pointed to his phone. I was like, look. And I was like, cool. I was smooth with it. And he was like, he tried to do what narcissists do, which is they're going to project and try to deflect, so that instead of you looking at the fact that they're a whore, a lying whore, they're going to redirect the energy. Well, why are you on my phone? How dare you? How dare you be a lying whore? How about that? Anyway, I digress. So, and I just sat there. I was cool with it. I still sat there. I was like, I said, yeah, but still, after you doing all that, okay, so explain. And he was like, what? So then, after he saw that, you know, him trying to deflect wasn't gonna work, then he was all like, he was like, oh, that. He was like, he was like, man, she's just somebody I used to work with. She's my old boss or some shit like that. And she probably talking about, you know, she want me to talk up her work or something. And she's somebody I used to work with, or she used to be my boss or some shit. But no. I saw the whole little exchange, right? But I just looked at her. I was like, really? I said, okay. I said, so why would your old boss need you? You. I remember saying that too. It's funny to me now. Because I'm like, gosh, I guess he thought I was stupid. I was like, well, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck if you're saying she was your old boss, I don't think she need you to talk her up for nothing. Now, if you were to say, if it was more you asking her to give you a recommendation, then that makes sense. But not the other way around, though. You see. So, anyway, uh, my guides did bring that back as I was looking at this reading that they were identifying another one, like that's her. She's one of the main ones that's been doing, that knew about this journey and that was doing magic on him long before he had ever met you. Why he couldn't get his life straight, why he kept going back and forth to certain ones. Okay, why he couldn't seem to untangle his life long before you ever hit the scene. But it's also what's been a part of, then they started doing the magic on you. Once they figured out, about the journey, they had been doing it on him to keep him fucked up in the head, to keep him dizzy, disillusioned, um, childlike, teenager, codependent, uh, all of that, to keep him in that energy. And then once Divine Feminine, which is me, once I stepped on the scene, because these people knew about this stuff, but they just pretend differently. Like they play to, play stupid. Okay. Or they tried to, twist it and flip it or some shit. It's weird. But they knew who I was. The whole point of what my guides were revealing based on that reading and bringing that memory back is that, yes, she is one of them that knew emphatically and that intentionally and purposefully was fucking with his head, doing spell work on him and on you to keep this connection chaotic. And I just sat there. I was like, well, I mean, I don't feel sorry for nobody, y'all, collective. Y'all know me. Because at the end of the day, it's still up to us, just like it was up to me. If I hadn't gotten myself free, then from allowing myself to be caught up in karmic cycles with him, right? As he remained caught up in his karmic cycles, then after truth has been revealed to me, then it's on me. My guides would say it's a similar thing. It's like, well, we have exposed things to you, so you're actively choosing to stay in a karmic cycle. Okay, they have not ascended, they're not awakening, and they have not cut out these karmic energies. So, and they don't believe it and blah blah blah. So if you're choosing to stay in that means you're going to be choosing to stay locked up in the saga. So it is with DM1 or any DM, to be honest. But since I'm referring to DM1, the story of that, there's no exception. Okay. um that's the twist. That's just a very weird twist that these people knew, and it makes sense to me as I look back. As I look back on this journey and on he and I promise you, it seems like every time it's weird, but I'm telling you, it's making more and more sense to me now that I've healed as much as I have and I've detached myself entirely from these people. Um, it's making more and more sense. I'm like, oh, like I'm tracing it. I'm like, so every time it's like they knew. And then in the case of DM1, you guys heard me say that he has a tendency, he's very, he quiet, but he not, he can be verbal. And then, you piss him off, he can say some shit. And then, you know, um, um, yeah, I'll just say that. Okay. So it only made it worse. It's why people started coming against me too. It's one of the reasons why, because as some time proceeded, he was, he's probably had a trillion karmic cycles with these people since I've been gone, since he and I, what I'm saying, haven't been dealing. I'm 100% certain of this. Okay. Not just the girl I'm talking about, but from my sister to my family to home chick with the message I'm talking about, bitch, all them. since I've been gone. He's gone through several cycles. And the nature of karmic energies, that up and down volatile stuff, they fight, they fuck, they fight, they fuck, they fight, they fuck, they steal from each other, they fight, they fuck, they steal from each other, they fight, they fuck. You know, um, I know that he has said a whole lot of shit out his mouth. I'm laughing because it's funny to me. I'm gone. So I could laugh at it. It's funny to me. It's funny to me because I know him first and foremost. He's a king of swords. So yeah, good luck. You know, uh, when he mad, nobody gets unscathed. So unfortunately, um, as where I'm sure he said a lot of shitty things about me, he also, when pissed off at them, or they broke his heart for the trazillionth times, as karmics are 100% prone to do, then my name comes up, and that pisses karmics energies off. It pisses them off. Low vibrational feminine energy, y'all know how that roll. I don't care if they 90, man. Y'all know how that roll. Okay. Um, so that's what provoked these people to start wanting to stalk and watch and get obsessed with me and start sending, distorted energy to me, my son, and what I do. This is why people were hell bent on trying to come against what I do, as well as steal. Yeah, they're fine. She one of them. They're on my list. To this day, some of these people are still stalking under fake accounts, coming on, acting like they're true fans. I guess in a way they are, but in a toxic way. You know what I'm saying? So, collective, hear me out now. For you, if you are, this is what I want to say to you. You guys may say, so why share this for Divine Feminine? More of DM1's karmics are revealed. You know who they are, and that these individuals knew about the twin flame journey before DM1 and even before Divine Feminine. So I'm sharing this so that it'll help you understand what feels confusing at first, because as I look back, the confusion of why every time, we get together or it seemed good, then all of a sudden it's weird without a cause for no apparent reason at all. Just why, just other, for me, I just like, okay, they're mental problems, that, that's how I felt. I'm like, at the end of the day, shit, fuck it, mental problems, motherfucker. Because it's weird. It was just too weird. It's like, it was too Jekyll and Hyde, which is narcissism. It's what they do. Right? But, to help you all understand that, yeah, if you're on this kind of journey, I know you guys, it's not popular, or it's not something that anybody want to know or believe, but closing our eyes, squeezing our eyes shut, and putting our fingers in our ears, what I'm saying, is not going to change the fact that it's facts. It's facts. And when this stuff is hidden, listen to me. You guys hear me talk about how the power of spell work, where is it? How is it? What is the power of black magic? I think I did a video about how that it's hidden, that it is unknown, or that one is not aware, or one doesn't believe. This is why they try to play like they're these upstanding citizens of society. It's why they try to hide in religious circles because, you know, this can give them a whole persona of soccer mom, soccer dad, the doting husband and wife, the sacrificial husband and wife that, you know, takes care of the kids and pays all the bills and, you know, sweeping the floor and with a toothbrush and shit, bitch. And, you know what I'm saying? So that, you know, what they're really doing behind the scene is undetected and worship projected to the very ones that they're projecting energy to. These motherfuckers were sending energy on me. They gonna get a severe ass whooping for that. Actually, let me rephrase that. They are getting right now. The only reason why these energies work on DM1. See, here's where the shift changed. This is where it all like changed in our whole storyline. It worked only to a degree with me as long as I was not healing and not in the know. Once all of that shifted, everything changed on a trajectory for me, Divine Feminine. But in terms of DM1, the only reason, the only power that stuff has is us refusing to see the truth and continuing to collaborate and cohabitate. That's the only reason why. But once divines heal and separate themselves and accept the truth about something, then this stuff starts to lose its power. Okay. Um, which is hard, you know, for a lot of people, it's hard to do. It's hard to do. It's hard to accept. I already told you guys on my particular journey, starting from, you know, first of all, coming to realize that it was your family. Okay. Then, you know, going from coming to realize it was your family and then trying to navigate through that, knowing that most people aren't going to believe that because people are asleep, man. They're asleep. Walk and sleep, sleep, walking, walk and sleep. You know what I'm saying? And they buy into these programs, these external, like I just said, the doting wife, the doting husband, the soccer mom, the soccer dad. You know what I'm saying? The one that's always, you know, come on, just look at that as an image. It don't mean the hoe ain't doing shit though. See, that's what it's called waking up. It don't mean the hoe, man hoe, girl hoe. Don't mean they ain't doing some crazy weird shit because they got low self-esteem and codependent. Goddamn it. And jealous. You see what I'm saying? We act like people don't do things out of hate or vengeance or bitterness or needing to win at all costs. DM1's downfall was his naivete in thinking that um, if it's someone's family member, surely they don't mean no harm. That was his first downfall. His next downfall was thinking that um, it was safe for him to trust women of his past because they took care of his children or they had his children or they was the doting wife or the doting, you know, girlfriend, and you know they paid all the bills, and so that was his demise. That was his demise, and I'm gonna go further than that. See, it was hard for me too on the side of needing to accept and swallow that my own mother would actually work against me, right? But that's a reality, that's a fact. And as long as we choose to stay blind to that and kind of like justify or make excuses with these lame ass statements that is designed to further perpetuate dysfunction and toxicity, that's your mother, okay? Yeah, and with that statement being said, don't it kind of mean that she shouldn't do some fucked up shit? It ain't one sided, motherfucker. That's your mother, correct? Then there should have been some honor, shouldn't there? So stop with the bullshit. But it takes, you know, it's hard to kind of unlodge yourself out of that at first, especially if you ain't woke yet. I had already awakened and it was still hard for me. I had already started the first few rounds of Dark Nights of the Soul, the first few rounds of Ascension. So, it was hard, but I could, I was able to at least grab it and believe, like, okay, no, show the fuck enough, show fuck enough, show enough, the fuck enough, them hoes. So I was able to navigate through it and heal a little bit more and just go ahead and accept it and just like, look, I gotta return this energy. It ain't gonna be me, motherfucker. It's gonna be them for it's me this time. Bet, 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 bet. I was like, nah, team, bet. Let's do this. Bet. Not this time, bitch. Not this time. Not this time. It's gonna be them first. I was like, it's gonna be them first. Uh-uh. Not this time. I do not think so. It will not be. I was like talking to my guys and shit. I was like, not this time. Okay. In one of the other lives, because they were lunatics following me around and shit. Maybe I sacrificed. Maybe. In the name of trying to help. Not this time. Judgment. I made the call. I have shit to do. While they're just sucking up air. So, as hard as it could have been for me, the tears I had to shed, with the realization, the shock, what I'm saying, and awe that I had to go through, like, wow, like people that fucked up. Yeah, that's true. Your blood, yep, sorry. Yup. And we ain't finna do that like black people do. We not finna to do the whole motherfucker, you know, they was fucked up. You trying to turn their ass into some, trying to hide their dark secrets, trying to turn their ass into some kind of saint. I don't think so. This is not how healing happens. Because maybe it'll help some other people. When we let truths get out, some other folks out there in the world start to deal with these mental illnesses and families and these family dysfunctions and toxicities that people want to smile at and pretend go to the barbecue and shit, bitch. Like, no, we finna to do this today with mental problems. Okay. Projecting it onto the one that actually carnated here to help they sorry asses. I know I'm a little bit off track here with that, but that's a sidebar. Okay. Because y'all, a lot of these people do know before you, and this is why these things, these journeys, these connections be volatile, because not only do you have to deal with the fact that the other counterpart may or may not be awakened and they got all of that fucked up ass conditioning depending on the culture and the society and the environment that they're in. Now you got to deal with the reality that they have some dizzy hoes and dark witches and weirdos and surrounding the whole dynamic, lunatic energy, obsessed, doing their shit. Okay? Accept it. If you're the one that if you're the one that accepts it, your benefit is that you get to get out of the muck and mire a lot faster and you get to get in the clear and go on with your life happy and co-creating with the universe. And you know what I'm saying? That's kind of the benefit of that. If the counterpart don't, well, they, that's kind of on them, and they equally suffer. they actually suffer a little bit worse. And that's their lot, man. Okay. Now, dang, there was something else I wanted to say before I click off here. And maybe I'm not to say it yet, but I feel like it's important. Um, I already talked about how, yes, people know that, in this case and in some of you all's cases, these individuals knew you all were twin flames, divine counterparts. And so in their envy and their jealousy and their need to win at all costs and their lunatic heads and yada, 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 they commenced to do all sorts of things. Maybe it'll come back to me later because there's something separate from that that has more to do with the karmic families that do the things that they do. Man, 19, am I not supposed to say it? It was something I just thought it. Maybe it's not the perfect time for it yet. Yeah, maybe it's not. Okay, because I'm like, it was just there. Maybe I ain't supposed to tell that part, but it's good. Man, it's good. It's going to help folks. Shit. Um, yeah, it's not, it must not be. So I'm not going to push that, okay? It'll probably come to me as soon as I click off, and then I'm be like, I'm going back off and see. So what else was it? Okay, DM1, another karmic exposed. Okay, whoop. He had, he had several karmics, and so did I. You know, um, the difference. If somebody wanted to know, difference between DM1 and myself, Divine Feminine, is it's not that I'm perfect, but there isn't no one that's perfect. But there's some strong markers, see, strong difference. I accepted. I got to a place of acceptance. I stopped, putting my head in the sand because I didn't want to believe that. No, I don't want to believe that. No way, my mother. No way, my sisters. No way, my father. No way, my nieces. No way. I stopped trying to put my head in the sand, bury my head in the sand, pretending like they weren't fucked up and they didn't do the shit they did. I stopped making excuses for it. I stopped trying to normalize dysfunction by, statements like everybody has a dysfunctional family. Yeah, the people usually saying that is the ones that be the dysfunctional ones that don't want to stop being dysfunctional. Or, you know what I'm saying? I stopped using those cultural cliche statements, that all that toxic fucked up ass shit. It sounds cute. It justifies a lot. And sometimes it makes us feel like we're even deep and spiritual if we're, tolerating abuse. That's not deep and spiritual. That's idiotic. It's unloving. We're not here just to be loving to others. You're here to be loving to you. And it ain't loving to you if you are tolerating abuse. Even if it's from your mother, your father, your sisters, your brothers, your whomever, your husband, your wife, your whoever. As this stuff becomes more and more revealed to you, now I'll address divine feminines because usually you guys are usually ahead. Okay. If you're resonating with most of what I've said, chances are it's divine feminine's resonating, and you've accepted, the shit for what it is. You know what's what, you know who's who. You see past the illusion. You see past the, the costumes and the labels and the fuckery. Okay. If you heard the reading, if you guys were on my TikTok live earlier, you're in a victory energy. But as the things are being revealed to you, put it on your list. Talk to your guides about it. Call judgment. You guys hear me say this almost every day. Call it. Because individuals that were intentionally doing stuff, there needs to be a special level of hell for them. And I'm talking about hell on earth, not when they die, not that shit. Okay, call it. Ask your guides to expose them too. Call it. You can align to your divinities, expose them. Let there be light, expose them, strip their illusion. Make it plain for everybody, whether they want it to be or not. I remember I did that one time, y'all, months ago. I wasn't playing. I was on a rampage. Months ago, man, whoop. I was like, cool. I was like, this is my intention, like team. I was like, I'll be cool with this. I was like, I'll be cool with this. I said, I don't really care what people do. They went wrong fucking with me. That's old Bloomies get down. This is where they really went wrong. They can fuck and marry whomever the fuck they want to do. Fucking with me, ill advised. This is what I have to say about that. So I was like, it's funny. Oh boy. But see, I'm sharing this collective because listen to me. If you are, please hear my heart. I'm not talking about you stepping out of who you are or you doing anything. I'm talking about you taking authority, calling judgment on the things people have done and do and plan to do. And with that energy, you have a right to direct it accordingly and call judgment because this is a cause and effect lesson. The reason why people are out there doing that kind of shit is because it's something they've been able to do. And these are people that some are going to die first before they catch a clue. There's a rare few that might catch it before they die, finally connecting the dots to cause and effect. Like, no, this is what you thought, but no, it's not when you fucking with this kind. That's loving yourself, and that is returning and reallocating energy. It ain't, oh, well, why? No, ain't, the fuck. Stop that fake spiritual shit. No, the fuck. If they was big and bad enough to sit there and do that, then they're big and bad enough to receive what they sent. That's how I feel about that. I mean it to the core of my existence. If they were big and bad enough to do it, then they're big and bad enough to receive it. There's a saying, if you ain't prepared to receive what if you ain't prepared to receive what your get down is, maybe you want to rethink about it. Maybe you want to rethink it because there's going to be a day and an hour that there's somebody that's going to have power that can send everything back to you in abundance. So if it was fucked up, and the universe will honor it because it's divine order. It's like, this was unjust. So you sent it to the wrong motherfucker. This was unjust. You're trying to play with destiny and fate. You're trying to play God. So since you want to play God, since that's your get down, we're finna play with you. You fucked up this time. You fucked up this time. Mm. Right? But you get to walk away and then you'll see some things play out over time. Especially if you were just patient, healing. They were hackling hens, they were laughing, clowning, hee-heeing and ha-hawing and thinking they the shit and had false victories and all kind of, and it's like, yeah, now it's gonna be like, yeah. The sooner you guys can just accept it, the sooner you feel empowered, the sooner you're able to move on. Like that beautiful reading earlier, man. That was whoever that group of collective was for. The beautiful reading of some folks is really going on. They're empowered. They're gaining victory. They're about to be in a light energy, dancing and celebrating, and the universe is whooping ass, and all kinds of stuff. So it was like somebody just said, now that you're done, I think the reading was entitled, And Now That You're Through. It was beautiful. And now that you're through. And it was the collective that's finally through with dealing with idiots. Finally through straddling the fence. Finally through accepting fuck shit from karmics, lunatics, idiots, narcs, so whatever the fuck. I don't care. I don't care what they call. If they fucked up, shit. That's where I'm at with it. I don't care if you've known them since 1975. If they're fucked up, they're fucked up. See, that's something else that, on this journey, we go through a lot of struggle with. Seniority, hierarchy, as if that's supposed to necessarily equal divinity. And it does not. Or that it necessarily equals trustworthiness. And I'm going to tell you something, as a matter of factly, it does not. And this is why, then people be, stuck in their head and holding their head. And it's like, get out the program then, man. As long, I can speak for myself, you guys, for sure. As long as I entertained, I promise y'all this, I had to learn these lessons like everybody else. As long as I played the game and entertained shit after my guys and show me this and that, it never works. It never works out. It always get perpetually worse. Then you absorb their karma. So it's like it's a double fucked up energy. It's like you sold your soul, you sold out, you connected to it, but now you betrayed your own soul. Now you getting a dose of karma for whatever you did fucked up to somebody else. Then they getting the karma because if they did something to a divine being, karma's gonna follow their ass till they croak. Till they croak. Yep. Either that or they get it right. But most of these people can't um, they can't get it right, you know? Some would rather die than to get it right. I know it sounds kind of dumb, twisted, and sad, but the truth of the matter is that's the ego. So, yeah, some would much rather suffer and die than to get it right. And they can choose that collective. I mean, that is a choice that is freely theirs to make. But if you're one of those high vibers I picked up earlier on the reading entitled, And Now That You're Through, man, you guys are manifesting. The victory card was the leading energy in that reading. I can't wait till I get to upload it. The victory card was the lead. Y'all was manifesting some balance, some Six of Pentacles, bitch. Y'all was manifesting, you know what I'm saying? Whoa, King of Pentacles and shit came out at the end. Whoa. Y'all was manifesting love. Y'all manifest. So I'm like, ooh. And this is supposed to go down after June 3rd. Something's gonna go down and shit. And it's gonna be good news and stuff. So I'm like, shoot, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. It was a long time coming, and but do know that as your guides continue to reveal things to you, it's okay. Just continue to follow suit. Just do whatever that part is that they're telling. Everybody is going to be a little bit different. Your guides may just be simply saying, make note of it, set intentions about it. Now that we have exposed and revealed who the individuals are, make an active participant, participating intentions towards the energy that they are sending. Okay. Um, and or if it's more legal, whatever things that your guides are giving you to do in terms of steps in the physicality, people who were using your personal your identification, identity theft, or people that were pirating your work, or like whatever your guides are giving you, just do that. That's all I can just say. Just do that. And handing all that over to the universe, doing your part, and watching them whoop ass. I know I asked my grandmother as one of the lead ancestors on my team. I was like, whoop their ass. I was like, I don't all day until I won't. I was like, she laughs. She know why. But I was like, taunt they ass. Expose them and taunt them and taunt them and expose them and expose them and taunt them and taunt them and expose them and expose them and oh, why? You guys may say, damn, why? Because they should have left me alone. Simple as that. Shouldn't have done what they did. They shouldn't have stole from me. Shouldn't have stole from my son. Shouldn't have did what they done. Period. The end. I don't got nothing to say about that. Nope. 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 Oh shit. Oh, they wanted to sense. Oh, they paid people. Okay, yeah. Taunt them too. How about that? I want them too. Them too. I was like, I want the whole group, light team. I want all of them. They little society, they little get down, get them. And I'm not going to relent. I'm going to go on about life, and I'm going to have my light energy and all the celebratory energy, but I still ain't going to stop. Nope. Not until, as I talked with my grandmother about this, as I started preparing for getting back to Nevada, not to live, obviously, but going there to handle some business. I was like, I'm not going to stop. I will not relent until me and my son get full justice, period. And the more these people play with my energy and my son's energy, and the more they play with Bloom from Within Love, the more I'm coming. I'm not going to relent. I'm going to call higher ramification for each thought and attempt to fuck with me. I'm going to call for more exposure to every individual involved. I'm going to call more judgment for them to lose everything for fucking with me. And so it shall be. My grandma, she just said, well, she said, I understand. She said, but we got this. We got this. She was trying to get me off of it. She's trying to get me. I already knew what she was doing. She was trying to get me off of it. Like, okay, we got this, because we got you. We got you. Now we want you to go and live and have some fun, because you things finna be wonderful. You already sending your blessings and stuff. So like, it's like, we want you to just come on. Right? Come on, stay here, because it's happening. All these good things and blessings is already in your face. You got so much that's already happened. And it's the truth. I ain't gonna lie. It's true. It's amazing what happened as, I left Sodom, how quickly my guide's universe assisted with making that a very fast moving process, because who likes to move? You know what I mean? Who does? Who likes to move? Who likes to start from scratch and shit? But they made this where it was like they had my back, boy. I tell you what. Like, nah, it ain't gonna be like that. You follow your guides, we gonna make sure we gonna take care of this. And they did, man. They did. And they do. They do, actually. So, collective, this is probably so for you as well. It's a constant dance you're going to be doing between, getting downloads and following your guides about what you need to do in terms of, karmics and any injustices done to you, versus the part that you just surrender, to them to handle as you just continue to live life, enjoy your growth and your healing and stuff like that. Some of you may communicate with some folks. We did get some communication energies in the last couple of readings. So some people, but for me, it's all about sincerity and truth. If that's not there, it's kind of like don't bother kind of energy. Because first and foremost, I'm going to smell it. And I know for me, collective, I'm not entertaining fuckery. So if anybody were to even try, if they're trying to call, so-called questioning me or projecting, I'm going to be like, do. Because the first thing people need to be addressing if they're calling themselves coming is they need to be admitting what they did. I don't want to hear nothing else. If that's not coming out, then they just not bother. I want to hear where you at, where you live, what you doing, where you work. Can I talk to Darrell? You know what I'm saying? Whoa. I don't want to hear nothing about what about, trying to like deflect into something I did or said that they didn't like, or any way to try to avoid what they need to be doing. If that's the energy, I have nothing to say. I'm not doing it. I've closed out that type of cycles, that type of living. It's moving forward in life. I'm dealing on an adult, mature level. People who know how to deal and how to heal. If that's not there, then I don't need a walk down memory lane. I don't. People who know that they've done some fuck shit towards me or my son, or they knew of it and failed to speak up about it, if they're not coming at me with the straight up apologies and the admissions, then they need to not bother, because they're still not quite in the right energy. They're still trying to cover and hide and slither and snake, and I'm not doing it. And truth be told, like for some collective, and this may be so for you because, the reading was like, now that you're through. Because for some of you, like myself, you may be in an energy of it's too late. Okay. Because if you had to virtually, it's almost like what happened with a situation that my brother had told me about a long time ago. In order to get my mom to rectify something that she had done to him, she had used his credit. She had used his she had purchased something and did something under his name or social or some without him knowing, and he ended up, he and his wife getting the bill or trying to fight it, some kind of shit like that. And he told me that, you know, the only way, first, my mom kept, as a sociopath narc does, will deny, right? Um, to the bone, kept, and my brother was incessant, and his wife was like, nah, nah. Because my mom tried to actually deflect it onto his wife and his wife's mother. So my brother, I guess he did his investigations and looked into it, because at that time, my brother made good money. And so, yeah. And then he eventually kept going back and forth with my mom, and he told her, it was like, okay, look, I know it was you. I don't want to hear this. Either you take care of this or I'm pressing charges. That's what he told her. And guess what? She took care of it. But it took him, isn't that sad? It took him, having to go to that extent to tell his mother that, because since she wanted to play the game and be manipulative and act like she didn't do shit, and worse yet, was projecting it off onto his wife and his wife's mom, because that's where he was living. So she made it sound convincing, which is what narcs do. So, it's sad that he had to go to that degree to get that remedied from his own mother that had done wrongfully used his information without his consent. Because guess what? If she was innocent and she really, really knew that she was innocent, emphatically, he could have pressed charges all he wanted to. She would have been like, nah. And then he would have went through the process, and then something would have came out in the wash, because she would have had truth on her side. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay. But she knew she was guilty at the core, and that if he took it to the full extent, that truth would be revealed. So, collective, some of you are in that kind of energy where it's like, if you got to do like what the example I'm just telling you about, like my brother and shit, it's like they need to stay the hell where they at. Because essentially, that's not reform. My mom wasn't reformed. She did that because she didn't want to go to jail, or she didn't want to have to, pay some kind of a penalty or something should my brother had took it to, full extent of, you know, pressing charges. So you all may be very similar. Like, if people aren't reformed, you can care less. If you got to threaten jail, bitch, then you still sick. So I'm gonna call judgment, and that, you get exposed, you get your karma, blah blah blah. But I ain't trying to hear nothing, because you shouldn't have to go there for people who claim they care. You shouldn't have to go there, collective. That's what I told my light team. That's what I told my grandma, my light team. I was like, nah. I said, they're all cowards. I told my grandma, I was like, they're cowards. I was like, they're all cowards. So I was like, they took this shit like a game. You think this is a game, man? You think it's a joke? You think this is a game, man? You think this is a joke? Taking it like it's entertainment. Okay. Let's see how they like the entertainment knocking on the door. Hello. Cowards. Once my team let me see the real about what was going on, I was like, nope. It's like they're cowards. They're sellouts and they're cowards. And if it takes them, you know, being their life to be threatened or being threatened, you know, to go to jail to get some get right. Some of them still ain't got no get right because they that far gone. They just gonna be sitting there somewhere like, whoa, when it all happened. I ain't interested. And you shouldn't be either, collective. This is what's gonna get you in that energy like the reading we had. Now that you're through. We had communities came out in rebirth. We had some other toxic motherfucker energy come out. And it was like the collective was walking away. It was the Five of Pentacles and motherfuckers, the Four of Swords and motherfuckers kind of energies. And you know what I'm saying? So now that you're through, you'll get to dance. But don't blink or think twice about it. Okay? All right, let me go. It's late now. Shit. Whoa. I think I'm going to have, we'll see what my schedule is. I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, excuse me. Hope y'all doing all right. Just take what resonates for you. I know this wasn't nothing structured and it's what a reading per se, but y'all know me. Okay. If you pay close attention, you'll be able to pull some wisdom out of what I say. If you're really listening, okay, even though I ain't got no PowerPoint presentation, point one, point two, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I get the strangest comments from people sometimes. I'm like, you got too much time on your hand if you sitting up here critiquing somebody else's videos and intros and shit, bitch. You need to go get a life. You got too much time on your hands. You too interested in worrying about the fuck somebody else's. Go do your shit and not copy and steal. How about that? Anyway, love and light to those of you who come in on that kind of energy sincerely from the bottom of my heart. Okay, may you be well. May justice prevail. May your karmics receive hell. La 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 la